Hello everyone and welcome back to 4 Kilobyte Shorts Let's Play of Kerbal Space Program with Kerbal Space Adventures. Alright, so the bubble, as it's currently being called, we're going to have to rename the space station at some point, but the bubble, as it is currently called, is in orbit. It has scanned all of Kerbin. I sat there for quite some time waiting for it to scan. It took 4 whole years, and we barely even touched the oxygen supply. Of course, the algae matrix was working just fine, so it was replenishing our oxygen as the Kerbals, as you guys, I guess, consumed it and created carbon dioxide. It converted the CO2 back into breathable gas, but we only consumed about 100 or 200 units in 4 years. It's years or months. I'm not sure if it's 4 months. Anyway, it wasn't very long at all. Well, I don't know. It was anyway. Sorry, I'm thinking about the timer and I have no idea what I'm doing. All right, so. Anyway, point being is, I recently made some changes to the Kethane mod. I think I mentioned this to you guys, where I had decided to do some alterations, excuse me, on the Kethane mod, and one of those alterations is, if you take a look down at the very bottom there, under the Xeno gas, it says oxygen. And the conversion efficiency for oxygen, and I did really good on that, is 1%. 1% conversion efficiency. That's it for oxygen. Kethane consumption is 5 liters a second, and power consumption is 10 a second. Wow, I really need to change those numbers. This has not been tested. This is the teeny tiny converter, the really teeny tiny converter. So that's a really bad number. I took it off the top numbers and I multiplied it by 10, but I think I like the 1%, but that 5 liters a second might be a little much. Maybe I have to bring that down to about 3 liters per second, because if you look, oxidizer uses 2.8, and that's what I kind of went by. But if oxidizer, because you can't say that oxidizer is oxygen, it's just something that adds O2. It could be like CO2, it could be something, it could be anything. I don't know if oxidizer is oxygen, but I decided that it wasn't. So I multiplied that by 10, very bad conversion rate on that one. I did the same thing with the secondary converter, and that one conversion efficiency is up to 10%, uses 10 liters per second, and consumes 12. Now the power I like, the liters per second consumed may have to be converted, but once again I went with oxidizer, which uses 8.3 liters a second and converts at 99%. So they have to be tested, but when we scan Kerbin, the only places I could find Kethane deposits are at the North Pole and at the bottom of the ocean. I don't know why. The game does not like me when it comes to Kethane deposits here on Kerbin. So it was like they were all at the bottom of the ocean, and there were a couple at the North Pole. I think there was one at the South Pole. There were a few scattered on the other continent, but to get to them would be a great big pain in the butt, because I'd have to use a balloon. And I don't have, if you guys have noticed, I don't. Come on, propulsion, please. Thank you. I don't have the fire spitter mod because it hasn't been up converted yet, so I don't have my electric engine, so I would have a very hard time getting to those Kethane deposits. So I decided to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, and we are going to the moon. Yep, we're finally going to the moon after like 3 or 4 3 or 4 attempts to go to the moon. I've already built our ship. Maybe check that out, the Humble Bumble 3. Oh yeah, you guys know what this is. Okay, it's going to take a second to load, of course. Wow, really, game? You're going to ruin my moment? Alright, so we have the Humble Bumble 3. Now this one's just... I kind of flubbed the detector part, because if you notice, it's just a fuel canister with an ISA map set and a Kethane detector slapped on it. But the real purpose of this is to get this into orbit to scan for Kethane and to map the moon, if it works. It may not work. I think the moon has some trouble being mapped by ISA map set, but we'll find out. It's to map the moon, map the Kethane deposits on the moon, and then from there we're going to take the Bumble and we're going to release the Bumble, and the Bumble's going to head down and land on the moon at a Kethane deposit to act as sort of a beacon, because you know we land rovers on the moon all the time, or on planets all the time, but we really don't move around with them. So I figured if we know where a Kethane deposit is, we land right on top of a Kethane deposit, we can scout around for a suitable landing site, because of course the moon's changed. The moon has changed heavily, and it's a lot harder to land on the moon now, apparently, and because of that, I don't want to be landing on the moon with one of you guys and then blow up. So we're going to be sending our first unmanned drone to the moon for safety purposes, keep you guys alive. Speaking of which, I have tried to add a few of you who requested after 0.21 to be added to the crew roster. I'm still working on it, don't you fret, but I'm still having a little bit of trouble getting you guys in. I thought I could convert some of the applicants because they're loaded in the persistence file, but For whatever reason, they're loaded into the persistence file, but they're not saved into the persistence file. I don't know how that works, but because of that, I'm probably just going to convert some of them once they get saved into the persistence file, which is probably after I leave and then come back into the game. I hadn't gone to the crew roster yet up until now, so wasn't anybody loaded under applicants. I tried to add you guys in that way, and it ignored you. It actually just straight up ignored that you were even there, and then it added its own applicants, which then weren't saved to the file. So I think it saves as you exit and come back, but I'll figure that out. I am going to get you guys in, I promise. There's only actually 3 of you. That's Colby, Slighty, and Ligsby need to be added. The rest of you, of course, have been added. Anybody else who wishes to be added, please continue to put your name up. I will absolutely add you as soon as I figure out how. Alright, so we know what the rocket's going to do. We know how it's going to get there. I'm pretty sure I have enough Delta V to get there. It looks like we do. It's a little bit light here, but this is going to be our big rocket right up in here, and that should get us exactly where we're going. Since no one's going to die on this one, I think I'm going to go ahead and skip the whole launch thing. We may just launch from the platform and then skip out into orbit, or alternatively, I may just meet you guys in orbit. Really depends, because this isn't going to be a super exciting flight, but we are of course going to land the Bumble together, because that's the super exciting part. So look at that, the Bumble's sitting here and our flag's sitting over there, and yep, that's where we're going to the moon. So I will see you guys outside, probably around the moon, I think, unless something weird happens. I'll see you guys there. Alright everyone, here we are out on the launch pad. I am of course recording it just in case something oddball happens. I did add solar panels onto the main rocket so we don't lose power. I also wanted to tell you that if this particular rocket does explode or fall out of the sky or something weird happens to it, I can of course restart the flight because none of you are involved. That's sort of a catch-20, no, not a catch-22, it's sort of a loophole with our rules and regulations regarding restarts and reloads. This one is one of the few that we can do that because there is really no loss here if the ship crashes. So we're going to go ahead and launch, and of course, as usual, I will keep you guys on until the first stage, and then from there, I will go into orbit and set up the burn for the moon, and then we'll head out to the moon, and I'll probably see you guys around the moon. So let's go ahead and launch up, and away we go. I hope that wasn't bad. I have no idea what just exploded. Okay, well, we seem to be doing okay so far. Let's see if we can lock in our torque a little bit. I'm not sure if the mechanical brain that I used has correct torque, but there's a possibility. What broke off? Was it one of our? No, it wasn't one of our engines. Must have just been one of the launch clamps breaking. Okay, that torque's not working for us. So let's go ahead and do this manually, like I've done for the last, I don't know, 4 versions of Kerbal Space Program. I see no loss there. Alright, 4,000 meters. There goes our first set. So it looks like everything's working so far. So unless something goes weird, I will absolutely see you guys in orbit. Alright everyone, I have it set up in a north-south polar orbit. It wasn't too hard to get, which is nice. Didn't use too much fuel, which is also nice. And we're about to get our first view of the moon here pretty quick as soon as we get over there. Let's go ahead and kick on the lights now that we have power. I should rotate us more into the sun, just because. Just for safety purposes. Here we go. Okay, let's go ahead and fast forward time, and we'll get over to the moon really quick. I hope it's as much fun to land on now as it used to be. I'm not sure if they changed any of the anomalies. I did notice that some of the anomalies on Kerbin are missing. Mostly I think it's the temple is missing, and possibly a lot of the... One second, guys. Oh, my apologies. I couldn't hold that one back anymore. Had to cough really bad. They removed... It looked like they removed the temple, and then a lot of the... what are they called? The things I hate. The monoliths. Yeah, they removed a lot of the monoliths, so there's not as many anomalies on Kerbin, or at least not that are popping up on the ISA map set, but that of course may be a map set issue, not a Kerbal issue. Oh my lord, look how bad that is. And I don't mean bad as in badass, I mean that looks terrible. Looks like somebody took a shotgun to it. Just ow. I hope we can find a good place to land. Possibly in a very flat crater, I would hope. Okay, looks like we just crossed the North Pole. Our periapsis is just over here, it's just on the other side. Wow, that's... whew. That's something terrible is what that is. That's some flat spots there in the middle. I just hope that Hope that our that there's a Kethane deposit somewhere nice and flat, or at least semi-flat. That's all right. I think we may burn a little bit early because of how floppy this thing can become. So we'll go, yeah, see, so it's a little bit off center. We'll try to keep it as straight as possible while we burn. And we are trying to come in, as you can see up there at the top, we are trying to come in at around 100 kilometers. That's 25 kilometers higher than we were around Kerbin when we mapped Kerbin. But I don't think that's an issue, because there's no atmosphere here, and as far as I'm aware, the ISA mapsat has a higher potential chance to crash the game the closer it is to the ground. So it's always a good idea to keep it as far away as possible. And since we had a choice of coming in high, I decided to come in high, so we're at 100 kilometers. That also means that the Kethane detector will work at this height as well, so that's not a problem either. So both instruments should work perfectly fine. The ISA mapsat may not cut as wide a groove in the map department as I once liked, but that's a personal thing. Let's go ahead and we should be in orbit. Let's go ahead and check our orbit. Since we don't have our ability to do it otherwise, let's close, please, or select and close. Thank you. We have 114 by 103. Okay, it's not 100%, but it's pretty darn close. Probably get it a little bit closer, but honestly, I don't mind that much. I really don't mind that much. And without our data information, we're pretty boned to change anything. So let's go ahead and set up, and we will, I think we're going to turn off our lights for now, since we're in the sunlight for one. Zoom. Save the Humble Bumbles, not Humble Bundle, although the Humble Bundle is awesome, and if they ever add KSP to the Humble Bundle, it'll be the most awesome Humble Bundle ever, and it's hard to say that many times. Alright, we're going to quick save really quick in case there's a crash of some kind. We're going to turn on our Kethane detector. Our ship, flop rotates. I don't know why it rotates on its own. It might have something to do with these plates. I don't know. We're also going to activate our moon detector. Whoa. A little laggy there for some reason. Our moon detector. So let's go ahead and turn on our current position. And can we not map the moon? Okay, it looks like we're... hello? It looks like we're currently unable to map the moon. I think that was one of the problems with the ISA mapset on this particular version of the game, is it's not able to map the moon because of the changes that they made. So any of the new surface zones, unfortunately, no mapping can be made until ISA mapset has been updated. So we're going to go in blind, I think, for the most part, when it comes to our map. But we are going to keep... Makes such a weird noise. We are going to keep this in orbit just in case. If there's an update, we can just update it off or update it on. You know, there's nothing we can do about it if it's not going to work, so I'm not going to complain. Will you stop rotating, you thing? If I turn this on, will we slow down and just stop? I don't know if the bumps, and by the way, if you guys hadn't noticed, I did use a bump for the Bumble, because that's my favorite thing to use for the Bumble. I don't think they have torque installed. They're pre, what's the word I'm looking for? They're pre 0.21, so they're pre-torque, and they haven't been upgraded with torque, so they don't really, well, maybe it did stop us rotating. I don't know. Alright, so this is going to take us a while to map. We can actually go ahead and take a look at our map. We'll show overlay grid. I don't know if it shows, oh, it does show an overlay grid on the moon. Okay. Ooh, makes it even look uglier. So we got some Kethane hits. That's nice. Alright, so we got some Kethane hits. Looks like we might not be perfectly centered on the North Pole and the South Pole, but that happens, and without our equipment here we can't adjust it 100%, but that's okay. It'll map one way or the other, and we don't have to worry about the ISA mapsat right now, so this should go a little bit faster than normal. So I'm gonna pause here for you guys. Really laggy when I do that. I'm gonna pause here for you guys, of course, and get this thing all mapped out, and then once it's all mapped out, we will come back and see if we can find ourselves a nice happy little soft landing zone. Yeah, and all that mess. So I'll see you guys there. Here's a fun glitch, everybody. I'm not sure exactly how that happened, except that the Kethane mod is active right now. So apparently, the Kethane mod creates a real overlay. So Kerbin is shielded from incoming missiles, except for one gigantic spot directly over the top of Kerbal Space Command. I like this. This is awesome. A little bit buggy, but funny. And the reason we're over here, now that I'm talking about it, is I wanted to check on you guys in the space station, but since there's a lot of loading screens, I'll get there first, and then we'll check on you guys and see how you're doing. But I just wanted to show you this because this just popped out of nowhere because I came here from the map screen, so this is an apparent bug of the Kethane mod. Very nice. So I'll see you guys up at the station, I think. Alright guys, here we are up at the station. The reason we're here is because I wanted to check out some stuff for testing purposes. Captain Corker, you will not be going home just yet. I do apologize, sir. But it's very important right now that you stay here on the station with everybody else, so I hope you're having fun and are okay. Now, what I wanted to do is I wanted to check to make sure that you guys are okay. One, on your oxygen, and two, on your carbon dioxide. And I just realized I just learned something about this, and this is really good because all of this is for our big project, the big project I keep telling you about. All of this is for our big project. I just checked our life support system, and although it's flipping out because it's not, insufficient carbon dioxide, I left this running after, before I left the game and before I reloaded, so it stays on. It knows that it's supposed to be on, so it remains online. So you guys can actually run, as long as you have this thing running, as long as you have power, this thing will continue to run, and you guys will be fine for O2 as long as you don't run out. And like I said, that's really, really, really good to know. That's really helpful. It means I don't have to come back and monitor you guys a lot, which is great. I'm loving that. Right now, there's really not much here to do on the station. As I said, we did map Kerbin. Let's go ahead and take a look really quick. There's Kerbin there, as you can see with the giant Kethane blips on it. Now, if you notice, there are a few holes here and there, and I think one of those holes is directly over Kerbal Space. It is. So this is this the one? Is that Kerbal Space Command? No, wait. Where is it? Well, it's got to be on the dark side, so it might be this one. Anyway, one of these holes is over Kerbal Space Command, so this is rendered directly on top of the planet. That's pretty interesting that you can go inside, you can go to Kerbal Space Command from the map. And if any of you want to recreate that bug, if you thought it was really awesome and you want to recreate it, just go into your map screen and have your Kethane grid on, and then from here just hit escape and then say, yeah, I want to go back to the Space Center, and that's all I did, and that's how I got it. But yeah, this is the full map of Kerbin, and as I said, we do have some Kethane deposits here and there, but they're really, really, really far away. They're kind of scattered a little bit. The biggest ones here are like in the ocean. This one's right in the middle of the ocean. This one's pocketed half in the ocean. This is one of the really, really big ones, but it's it's semi in the ocean. These ones are over here on the dark side. These are pretty close to Kerbal Space Command, but not close enough to get a Kethane miner out there. And of course, if you're going to mine Kethane, if you're going to do some tests, you do some tests on the moon. So that's what we're doing. So this is our habitation module test. Look at those mountains. So this is our habitation module test to see if Kerbals can survive in the harsh reaches of space with an oxygen regulator, and it looks like they can because the wonderful modder of the Ion Cross crew support system decided to leave those things running once you turn them on, which is great because the last thing you need to be doing is get distracted by something and have your Kerbals die. That's wonderful. So, of course, I'm going to go back to mapping the moon now that I know you guys are 100% safe. Mr. Spiracco, Nicholas Bell, Captain Corker, Lothfar, and Ultra Confix, who's very, very happy to be on the list right there. You guys are perfectly safe up here. Don't worry, I'm not going to abandon you now that I don't think you're going to die. We do have more purposes and more tests and more things to do for our big, big, big project. And once we get the moon all mapped out, we'll be working on that shortly. So I'll see you guys once the moon's all mapped up and we're ready to launch the Humble Bumble. So I'll see you guys there. Yes, Lothfar, you're a super famous character. Alright, everyone, here we are back on the moon, back near the moon. I have brought us into a rather eccentric orbit. Eccentricity is 0.228, whatever. I know that means it's not round or circular. But I brought us down to 38,000 meters with the big rocket here, and that way our little guy here is really close to the dirt, and that's super duper important. We're not going to land this, we're going to bring it back up into a higher orbit, but we do want to get our Humble Bumble down low enough to where when we have to evacuate the ship, you know what I just realized? I just realized this doesn't have a mechanical brain. Only the Bumble has a brain, so this whole thing is kind of useless if I'm going to use it for that. But anyway, I have mapped not all of the moon. There are some bits missing. But our largest Kethane deposit, I think, let's go ahead and pull up the grid here for you guys. Largest Kethane deposit is right around in here. And I think we may just crash this whole thing into the dirt. Now that I think about it, let's just do that. We can replace the ship if we need it. We don't really right now need it, so that's not a problem. But anyway, is that the right way? Oh, good, that's the right way. So yeah, we're going to land right in the middle of this crater, I think. It's going to be our gig. It's going to be our thing. We are really uneven. Let's go ahead and do that. Honestly, I should do this better. This is probably not going to be the best idea. Yeah, we'll do this a little bit better, I think. this, this is not the way that I wanted to do this. I'm just going to randomly crash this into the planet, I think. I know I'm doing this on the map screen, but doing this on the map screen is kind of a have to at this point. It's only a little bit of map screen, I know, I do apologize, but we're going to tilt our orbit a little bit so we're better angled. There you go. And then I will do the rest by the seat of my pants, I think, is how we're going to do this. So we'll just do this by the seat of our pants. We'll see what happens. Most of the map is mapped, of course. And we just need to spin ourselves... SAS is still on, okay. Might help if I turn that off. We're just going to go ahead and try to land in that crater. The crater... What's really great about it is the crater offers sort of a rover-ish area because the Kethane deposit is both inside and outside the crater. So even if we miss the crater slightly when landing... like with the rover, we can come in with the rover and be all rovery. If we have a lander, which is the next gig, of course, then we don't have to be all rovery, or we can't be all rovery, but we do have the option of landing both inside and outside the crater. Alright, so we want surface information, not so much orbital information. I also don't know where that crater is, to be perfectly honest with everyone. There are so many craters, and we're landing kind of in the dark. Let's kick on our lights, why not? Oh, we're in hyper mode speed. Oh, we're still detecting Kethane. We're at 56,000, that's nice. Think I'm gonna have to check my map again. I do apologize. Yeah, okay, we're coming up over the top of it here pretty quick. So the crater bed, as you can see, is right there. So we're not actually in the crater right now. We're slightly to the right of it, but this whole thing is one big Kethane patch. So I'm okay with all of that happening. So we should be able to see the crater here pretty shortly. We're still going to have that thing beeping and blinging. Let's go ahead and deactivate scan tone. That way it's not beeping and blinging at us without our full consent. But I think we just got a Kethane ping, so anywhere in this area would be fine to land in. We can drive anywhere else. Let's kind of slow ourselves down. Oh, there's our orbit gone. We will slow ourselves down a little bit, and we have so much fuel to work with. We can land and kick on our lights and do all sorts of wonderful stuff. We can. And of course the ground's going to be telling us where we're headed and whatnot. I'm just going to kind of slow burn our way into a flatter orbit because, as I said, the crater's right there, isn't it? Yeah, the crater's right there. So let's come in a little bit steeper because the ground's going to be doing its thing. Alright, we'll take a quick look. I don't want to overshoot. Oh, definitely not going to overshoot. I don't know why I do this better with MechJeb outside the map screen, because this has all the data I need. Maybe I'm just not used to it, I don't know. Okay, we're going to throttle up a little bit. We're going to try to slow ourselves down with our horizontal speed, not so much our vertical speed. I don't mind going down, we do just want to stop going over. Yeah, because that's the crater there. Ah, crap. That's the crater there, at least part of it, I think. It's so hard to tell from here, especially on the dark side. And this thing really wants to flop over. That's okay though. We're just trying to slow ourselves down. We're not even trying to slow our vertical speed. Our vertical speed is negative 156. Our horizontal speed is 110 and going down. So that's fine. Rover may have a little bit of trouble with the whole ground thing. Ooh, there's a nice big flat spit of ground right over there. That's nice. You're gonna have to rover over there. Yes, I did just say rover over there, didn't I? I'm such a bad person. Alright, we're at 3 meters per second. We are close enough to the crater, close enough to our objective, I think, that we can say 3 meters a second is fine. We're going to go 2 meters per second. There we go. 1, and we're now at this point we are coming basically straight down on top of the ground. There we go. Alright. So we're doing roughly 640 millimeters per second at this point in one direction or another. Now at some point we do have to ditch this and launch our little rover probe, because he's what we're going to be landing on. We're not going to be landing on this big huge chunk of whatever. So let's do that a little bit. Let's kind of keep our speed from increasing too much. There we go. Oh, there's our surface information. We now have true surface information. There we are. This is a nice gentle landing, isn't it? I'm loving this. Whoa, we're on a big mountain though. Although, nice jump, let's see, 6,000 meters. We may want to slow our horizontal speed because this thing doesn't control too well at high velocity. So if we bring this thing down too quickly, and I try to fix any trajectory issues with a burst of speed, we may flip upside down. But I think what I'll do is I'll do something kind of smart, kind of dumb, kind of smart. We'll see how that works for us. We will do this. And okay, and then bye-bye. Alright, now we have our other engineer. Ta-da! Okay, perfect. And then we need to kill and ignite. Ignite? Let's turn that on, that might help. I don't even, like I said, I don't even know if this has torque. There's our light engines, we're good to go there. Alright, that thing's going down right underneath us, that's fine, I suppose. You shouldn't stay that way. Oh, dear God, we can't land here. Nothing can land here. Oh, this is probably the worst place to pick. Oh, but it had such a huge Kethane deposit. Huge Kethane deposit. Also, I picked landing kind of in the dark because of the fact that at this point, this was the best trajectory to land this little guy, but I didn't realize that this didn't have a mechanical brain. So because of that, I probably could have waited until it was better lit to land, but this will work for us for the moment. Okay, we're just going to kind of keep our engines running so we lose speed a little bit. We're only at 800 meters. That thing should, yeah, explode any minute now. Let's slow ourselves down a little bit, shall we? Coming down about 600 meters per second. Or excuse me, 600. Oh, there they go. They bounced. And our ground is at 630, 610, okay, 59. That's cool. That's cool. Don't want to use up all of our fuel, but we seem to be doing okay with the whole landing thing. Not too unhappy about that. Landing, of course, takes a very long time. Not really. It takes a very long time if you fail at it, like me. Alright. Alright, 300 meters. 300 meters. Whoa, we're going the wrong way. I panicked and used too much fuel. Alright. Horizontal speed's at 3 meters? That can't be right. Oh, millimeters per second. Okay, that's fine. We're at 200 meters. There you go, that's nice. 6 meters per second. We'll lose a little bit of that velocity as we come down. Try to keep ourselves centered as much as possible. Hey, this is good. I like this. By the way, if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm just doing that. Just kind of keeping my engines lit. Nothing really important. We're at negative 1 meter per second, but we're only at 140. There you go. Let's get some of that speed back. There we are. So we'll just kind of coast like this a little bit. I don't have any kind of real landing lights per se. I just have the regular lights here. If we don't flip or anything, we should be fine. 95 meters. Okay, we'll pull up some of our speed again. Oop, a little bit much, a little bit much. That was my fault. There we go. Kind of want to keep it down to about 3 or 4 meters per second. We have nothing but ground below us now. Ooh, this is scary stuff. I can't see anything. That's my biggest problem at this point. Is like I really can't see anything. Okay, we're gaining a little bit more speed than I like. Oh, there we have lights. We have lights. We have lights with which to land. And little touchdown. Little touchdown. Okay, we'll be bouncy a little bit because of the landing platform, but for the most part, it looks like we have indeed touched down. Now we are rolling backwards because of our braking problem, our braking glitch. Let's brake and see if that stops us without rolling us over. Perfect. All right, quick save, absolutely quick save. I don't know why that just moved. And because we're using up power, lots of power, let's we're going to activate our docking camera. No, we're going to decouple node. Yeah, there we go. We're going to decouple node, and now we've released our node. Now, very quickly, we need to move forward. Can I move forward? Please let me move forward. Or backwards, or some direction. Oh, dear. I can do this the hardcore way, but I'd rather not. Alright, looks like my keys aren't working the way I want them to. Our docking isn't working. I'm going to roll the ship forward, I think, and then kind of backwards a little bit and see if we can get out of this. I don't know why my wheels aren't rolling like I want them to, but they're not. Which I think we're stuck is the problem. So I'm going to I'm going to be silly and I'm going to roll us, possibly onto our top. Because we don't have a lot of time to do this the right way. There we go. Alright, and then... Come on, little guy. Come on, little humble bumble. You can do it. Just get us out, and you'll be fine as long as nothing breaks off. Alright, you good? Alright, now we should be able to open... I'm going to be silly. I'm going to extend the solar panel, if for no other reason, so that we can get power, so that I can attempt to maneuver this a little better. There we go, a little bit of solar power. Okay, now we have to be very, very cautious because I can't afford to break off these solar panels. Now I only have one open, which is fine, but I can't afford to break off my solar panels, and I can't see. We are gaining power, which is nice. Oh, great, it's pointed directly at the horizon, which means it is in a very good position to break. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. We'll keep the lights off then. We have enough sunlight to see at least our boat. We'll let that get up. Let's go ahead and speed up time a little bit. Just let that get up to a decent speed. Okay, retract solar panel. Do not do anything else. Do not move. Do not blink. Do not touch. Do not nothing. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, container. Bye. Okay, there you go. Bye-bye, our container. Do not break off solar panel, please, little humble. I will be upset. I do not wish turn off that. Maybe my SAS was stopping me from moving. Maybe that was it. I don't know. Oop, oop. I do not want to spin like a top. You spin like a top, things break off. Where are we? We are in the wrong... Oop. No, 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 no. That's exactly where I wanted to go. Whee! Crap. Alright, little humble. Figure it out. Alright. This is not working well for us, guys. Alright, and can we roll it back, please? Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay. Turn that on. Lock in. Now, can we move? Alright, for whatever reason, maybe my I and J keys just aren't set proper. But we can turn, but we can't move forward or back unless my wheels are locked. Lock steering, disable motor, invert steering. Alright, I don't know what's causing that. I'm going to open our solar panels now that we're in a relatively safe position. That way we can get some what's the word I'm looking for? Light. Put some light on the subject. Yeah, we're gonna grab some light. I'm gonna kick on our lights, honestly. There we go. There we go, okay. Oh, no, I know why we're not moving. I turned my brakes on. There it is. There it is. KB's a genius, guys. Whoop. It looks like our solar panels are trying to do something weird. I'm concerned about these solar panels now on this uneven terrain. I wasn't concerned before, but with the sun so low, they're now in a position to do horrible things, like break. So let's quick save again before those break off. Brakes, remember they're on this time. Alright, brakes on. Alright, now we were coming to the sun. The sun was rising on the horizon, so we will let the sun continue to rise, and that way these solar panels just get out of the way so we don't have to... Oh wow, no, I was wrong. I was very wrong. This is a very... Okay, this is not bad. This is a very flat place to land. Okay, I wasn't crazy. I wasn't as crazy as I thought I was. Hooray! Okay, so this is nice. This is nice. Let's check out our map. Let's see where we are. We got some chunks of something over here. Humble Bumble Debris. We'll have to go over and see what debris that is. But first, let's check our map. Let's check exactly where we are. We are at the very tippy top of the Kethane deposit. It's not a bad place to land, really. And we can mosey down here, and then, of course, we have the whole... Actually, oh, yeah, we are. We are right on the edge of the crater, which is great. We have a whole big crater to explore. That's wonderful, and our Apple Axis is going wee over there. Yeah. Okay, we'll get out of the map screen. So, this is a really wonderful place to land. I was totally wrong. You know, as usual. KB, you were wrong again, buddy. We are on the other side of Kerbin. I think Kerbin is over in that, like, that direction-ish. Okay. So let's go take a quick look around while we're here, because I am super excited about looking at some of the holes in the ground. Brakes, KB. Some of the holes we have in the ground. Now, I tested this on Kerbin, and I know Kerbin is you know, 1G of gravité, but I tested it on Kerbin with the SAS on, and this little guy... He was awesome. He was bouncing all over the place, jumping all over the place. I broke off one of the solar panels bouncing into something, but other than that, he was awesome. The little guy was awesome. So because of that, we will be taking him around, checking it out. Oh, look. It's the flight recorder. That is what survived the crash. Is it still flight recording? I think it is. I think it's still taping. Yep, it's still working. Dear Mom. That looks kind of... Honestly, no, brakes, KB. Brakes, there you go. Brakes on there. Honestly, it looks kind of sad sitting there, doesn't it? You look at it, just in the dirt by itself, just spinning, with the lights on. Yeah, that makes me sad. Okay. we will continue to look around. We're gonna zoom out, and we're gonna see if there's any place we go. Oh my God, we landed in a nice flat spot. Look at all those craters. Look at all those craters we can explore. Which crater? Which crater are we closest to? Which crater are we closest to? Honestly, I think we're like dead center. I want to go check out that crater. Let's go check out that crater. Okay, now this is gonna take a while to drive over there, even like for me. So I'm gonna drive over there really quick for you guys. I really wish you could check out, lock onto debris as a landing site. But anyway, I'm gonna go check out that crater. I'm gonna drive over there, and you guys are gonna come with me, and I will see you guys right over there when we're at the crater. This is gonna be awesome. I swear, it's gonna be awesome. All right, everyone, we are climbing the crest of the crater. It was 4.3 kilometers away. The Bumble made it fairly well with the SAS unit on. I think these do have some kind of torque on them, because with the SAS unit on, I was able to clock about 7 meters per second on average, 9 meters per second going downhill, but I try to keep it below that, just for safety purposes, and then 6 meters per second on the slow end. So, and of course, as you can see, we're trying to climb this ginormous awesome hill, and that has brought us down to about 3 meters per second. So we're gonna crest this little hill over here. We're gonna try to get safely over the top of this little bump without breaking off a solar panel or two. There we go. So yeah, the Bumble is doing really well. So here is our first impact craters. Oh, isn't that great? Okay, brakes, KB, great brakes. We are so boned. There we go. Okay, can we back it up? Okay, tell me I can back it up. Okay, there we go. I was very lucky that we didn't go rolling down that hill. Anyway, so here is our first crater. The Humble Bumble has made it to our first moon crater, and I will tell you that traveling across the surface with all these craters now is really awesome, due to the fact that you have something to gauge your distance from. Now, of course, we had our garbage for us, our trash, but I was basically ignoring that. What I'd do is I would zoom way out, and I'd look at where we were going, and then I'd count like the ridges. So we're at the edge of this giant crater, but along the way I went over like a hill here and a hill here and so on. So as I went over the hills, I would just count which hill I was on, and it made it so much easier to navigate and go, okay, I'm this far away and it's going to take me this long, instead of driving across miles or kilometers, whichever you want to call it, of flat dust going, when am I going to get to the damn thing? No, you can look at the hills, and you can look at not monuments, but you can look at the different surface features and say, okay, I see that hill and it's passing me at this speed, and I can get over that, and that's really sweet. Alright, so the Humble is going to be our beacon for our next landing party. They are, of course, not going to land here. We will have to make sure to land roughly 4.5 kilometers south of here. But it didn't take us very long to get here. If nothing else, I'll take the Bumble back over to our trash zone so that the Kerbals can go and clean up. And I am going to tell you guys, I put a little secret on here, but apparently it fell off. I had stuck, just before launch, I had stuck a Kerbal command seat on top of the mechanical brain, and for whatever reason, either when I was flipping and flopping about, you guys will have to check the video, but either when I was flipping and flopping about because my brakes are on, or sometime during the flight, it came off. And so I was going to have this as sort of an impromptu rover for whichever Kerbal we might bring to the moon, could climb on board and drive it around, but unfortunately that is not going to be the case. Instead, it'll be more of a scouting rover, if I see anything important or anything cool. But we are absolutely going to bring a Kerbal to the moon, because part of our test has to deal with Kethane, and the moon has a gigantic Kethane deposit right in this area. We did find a suitable landing site, and of course we still haven't planted a flag since forever. We have never planted a flag. Oh, by the gods, never planted a flag. So that's something we're absolutely going to do. But that is probably going to have to wait until the next video. So, for now, I would like to thank you all very much for joining me, 4KB Short, and the Humble Bumble 3 on this Let's Play of Kerbal Space Program and Kerbal Space Adventures. And I will see you guys next video.